Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Louis-Philippe and I am the co-founder of Spentys. I'm very excited to have you with us for this special occasion. Today, we are proud to share the orthopedics workflow we have reinvented for you. At Spentys, we always keep pushing the limits of innovation to improve the tools you use every day. If you don't know yet who we are, here is a brief introduction. We support orthopedics to implement new tools to create personalized orthoses efficiently and effectively. And don't worry if that sounds complicated. During this event, we will show you just how easy it gets to create perfect fitting orthoses with our scan, model, print solution. Last year, we all took a giant leap forwards in terms of digitalization. Overnight, we were suddenly required to do everything via Zoom. Those who had previously not adopted the new technology were all of a sudden forced to do so. And yet, it is especially in healthcare that the role of technology has accelerated exponentially. During the first few months of the pandemic, 3D printers played an important role in protecting healthcare providers who put their health on the line to help infected patients. We are proud to have supported local hospitals and practices during the first wave of the pandemic by producing valve for respirators, face shields, and other protective materials. COVID-19 was without a doubt the biggest challenge for all of us this past year. During this stress test, 3D technology earned its stripes. In our sector, it feels like we have reached a key moment in the implementation of 3D technology. We understand the challenges that this new technology imply. We are convinced that you too can use 3D technology to your advantage to ensure your patients an optimal rehabilitation. You no longer need to be a design engineer to make these orthoses for your patients. This summer, we want you to experience the benefit of 3D technology yourself. Today, we will talk with some of our users about the added value of 3D technologies for orthopedic technicians. With these CPOs and OTs, we have proven that 3D technology allows you to provide patients with orthoses that offer more than the minimum requirements and that guarantee optimal wearing comfort. It is crucial for us that the technology you use in your workshops integrates perfectly with your existing production procedures. Therefore, we do everything possible to make our tools as user-friendly as possible. We want your first experience with these technologies to be a frictionless experience. That is why, during the development of new tools, we focus on three important principles. First one, we design our tools for optimal ease of use from the initial setup to the daily use. Second one, we design our tools to be more collaborative, connected, and secure. Third one, we also design our tools to be flexible because you are the professional and you should have full control over the whole process and the end result. We apply these principles in everything we create. And because of that, our tools become an extension of your craftsmanship and medical expertise. We have listened to you. And in the next 20 minutes, we are going to introduce amazing new tools that we have created for you. The first one, the new Spentys platform, a virtual warehouse for all your 3D printed orthoses and equipment. Second one, the new Spentys application, a virtual workstation to create 3D printable orthoses. Third one, new modeling tools that allow you to create any orthosis you want in a matter of minutes. These tools allow for mass personalization of medical devices and will ultimately lead to better and more predictable treatments for the patient. We believe that these tools are making personalized care more accessible in orthopedics. Today, we invited users and creators of these tools to share their experience. Now, enjoy the show.
Hi everyone, my name is Tom and I'm heading the marketing department at Spentys. If you're an orthopedic technician curious about the added value of 3D technology for your workshop, you came at just the right time. In the next few minutes, we will show you just how easy it has become to create high-quality orthoses using 3D technology. We will show you how our all-in-one 3D scanning, 3D modeling and 3D printing solution makes this new category of orthoses extremely accessible. Up until now, to offer personalized 3D printed orthoses, you needed big budgets, the rare skill set of being pro-efficient with CAD or CAM software, and a lot of time. But that's no longer the case. To show you just how accessible our tools have made this new way of working, we've invited some of our users to testify during this event about their experience with 3D technology, while we show you the new features we introduced in our tools. The creation of perfect fitting orthoses is an easy 4-step process. The first step, we make the scan. The second step, we correct and prepare the scan. Third step, we design the orthosis. Fourth and last step, we print the orthosis. Are you ready to see that in action? Okay, let's dive right into it.
When using plaster to take geometries, the process traditionally involved multiple stages. First, you would copy the limb using plaster, and then you would have to work it to obtain the patient's geometry. A rather time-consuming step that generated results that were prone to errors and sometimes even inaccurate. That's where a 3D scanner comes in. We start by taking a scan of the patient's body part for which we want to create an orthosis, and our scanner allows for a 1 mm accuracy, which is just about perfect to make orthoses for the lower and upper extremities. Let's start and show you just how fast we can create a high-quality scan. Notice how I'm adding information on the patient first. This will be made available at any moment on the application and on the platform, so that if I need to make some adjustments later on, I can easily find it back. For this demonstration, we are going to use the right arm, and based on the segments that I choose, different models will pop up. These models serve as a reference to create the best possible orthosis for a certain pathology. In our catalog, you can discover all the models for a wide range of pathologies. I'm sure you will find some designs you like, and don't forget we add new models on a monthly basis. For this example though, I'm going to use our most popular model, the A1, which can be used to immobilize the wrist. Okay, let's start scanning. So I quickly position the iPad at the right distance from the arm and start the scan. While I'm turning around the limb, the application will actually tell me if I move too close or too far from the arm, and if I'm moving too fast. I can also see if there are parts of the limb that I missed by looking for parts that still have to be colored in white. All of these little features help us improve the quality of the scan. Perfect! It's that simple. In less than 30 seconds, I have all the information I need to create a perfect fitting orthosis. Awesome, right? Let's now find out what our users have to say about their scanning experience.
The scanner is very easy to handle. The tools are quite easy and it gives you the right scanning position and the correct distance, so it's very easy.
The most important benefit of the scanner is the lightness. It's very small. You can carry it around, you can bring it to different locations.
That's right. And we understand that the iPad scanner is not always the best solution. In 90% of the applications, it is more than enough. But sometimes, especially with younger patients, a white light scanner is recommended. That's why we have made it very easy to upload scans from other 3D scanners to the platform. By doing so, we allow you to use your favorite scanner while you still get access to all of the advantages of the Spentys solution. So, if we are satisfied with the scan, it's time for step 2, correcting and preparing the scan.
When you build a house, you start with the foundations. To create 3D printable orthoses, the scan serves as the foundation. That's why this part is so crucial. We want to make sure that the scan is exactly how we need it to start modeling. In this step, we're going to clean up the scan, change the immobilization position if needed, and we can even locally shape the scan similar to adding or removing some plaster while preparing the molds. Okay, so let's indicate where these important anatomical parts are located. We can use the image at the bottom of the screen as a reference. And here I can decide what part of the scan I want to use. But what is really cool is that we have included AI, which is actually also going to smooth out rough edges of the scan. Let's say, for example, that the scan wasn't perfect and that there was a small hole the size of a cone between the thumb and the other fingers. Then our AI will actually automatically fill that up. Okay, in the next step we can adjust the scan. To do this, we indicate another 2 crucial anatomical points, and then we can actually change the angles of the wrist. This comes in handy if you couldn't scan the patient in the immobilization position you wanted. For the sake of the demonstration, I will add a little bit of hyperextension. Looks great, right? Now for the final part of the scan preparation, we can really get creative. We can make all sorts of local adjustments. I like to use it to remove or add local pressure. As an example, I will create some more room around the styloid to make sure there is no unnecessary pressure here. I can do that by simply drawing on the region and then adding a little bit of volume. I also want to add a little bit more pressure on the thumb region. Again, I can easily do that by selecting that region and removing some volume. Voila, scan looks perfect. Let's find out what our users have to say about the scan rectification.
With the scan rectification, we can create some offsets, for example, on the wrist, so we can add foam, which makes it softer for the patient.
The most important benefit of the scanner rectification is that you can make your own brace in length, width. So if there isn't a solution on the market, you can make it yourself.
In total, it takes us less than 5 minutes to take the scan, clean it up, and prepare it for a smooth modeling experience. Now you get to decide how you want to proceed. You can ask a Spentys designer to design the orthosis. This is a quick and affordable option to design custom-made orthoses based on a model from the Spentys catalog. For those who want to go the extra mile, we can work together on a model that is exclusive to your workshop. Once the design is validated, our designers can easily recreate it for other patients as well. But we also have a new tool we want to share with you today, the Freeforma. This new tool lets you create an orthosis directly on the screen of the iPad. There are literally no limits to your creativity, no limits to what extent you want to personalize the orthosis for the patient. Now, Let's show you how that works.
Let me show you just how easy it is to create an orthosis to immobilize the wrist with the free forma. There are different ways to approach modeling, but this is my method of choice. First, I make the brush 20 millimeters wide and draw two parallel straight lines on the dorsal side of the arm. This is where I will later put the closing systems. Here I will do the same on the hand. Voila! Now I'm going to connect everything, taking into account the location of the styloid and the hand line to make sure that the patient can still easily bend his fingers. Looks good to me. So here I check if I'm satisfied with the overall shape, and I start creating bridges inside of the shape I just created to reinforce the orthosis. And this is really where you can get creative. I like to proceed like this, but some of our users actually prefer filling everything up and adding some holes later. As you can see, the edges look a little bit sharp, but we don't have to worry about that yet. Our AI will smooth everything out when we go to the next step. Okay, one last check. And this is really where we can decide what parts of the orthosis we want to keep open, give more strength, or add more body. After 2 or 3 tries, this will all feel very natural. Great. There's one final step in the modeling process, and that's creating the closing systems. For this example, we're going to use our most popular closing system, which are belt loops to attach Velcro strips. I can decide on the position and total length so that I won't by accident make those just a little bit smaller than the strips. And I can also change the width and the clearance. Changing these parameters will have an impact on the strength of the belt loops. Stunning, right? Wait until you see how this comes out of the printer. But first, let's find out what our users have to say about the modeling experience.
The most important benefit of the new modeling tool is you don't have to be a computer nerd to use it. It's very easy to use for every technician, and the outcome is always good.
So using the free forma, we can easily create orthoses in less than 10 minutes from scan to ready to print orthosis. And that brings us to the last and final step, printing the orthosis.
Some of our users have their own printers, and so we provide them with the right file and parameters to start printing. But you can also choose to print at the Spentys facility or with a third-party printing company. If you print with us, you have the option to choose between FDM printing and multi-jet fusion printing. Both technologies have their advantages and different materials to choose from. For some applications, there are recommended materials. For example, for a face mask, you would probably go for a carbon material. Our application specialists are always available to help you make the right decision in the beginning. And whenever we find new technologies and materials that could benefit you, we make them available for you. Let's find out why some of our users like to print themselves or choose to opt for an extra printing service.
So we print with Spentys because we don't have a printer and we also have no experience. For us it's much easier to print with them.
We print our products at Spentys because of the professionalism. They have a lot of knowledge about the materials, the custom designs, and yeah, they can help you with some solutions if you don't know for sure what to choose. So yeah, I think that's why we choose for Spentys.
The first times we just let them print the orthoses, and quite fast I realized that investing in a printer could be a really good solution for us to work really fast here in Kortrijk. So we arranged everything to get a printer, to get the software, to get everything ready, the filaments, and then print it ourselves quite fast.
That's it. But actually, there's one more thing we would like to show you. Let's have a look at the platform that we created to streamline all your 3D projects, which I like to call the digital warehouse of the orthopedic technician. Imagine being able to keep all of the molds and copies of the orthoses you created in one place. How much space would that take? Well, in a virtual environment, this is way easier. Here we are on the main dashboard, and as you can see, we can quickly find all relevant information on all running projects. Like, for example, the orthotic that we just created. Both the scan and the model are available on the platform as well. I can download the STL here and chat with the Spentys team about this orthosis. If I ever need to see it back, I can find it here as well. On the platform, you can also consult the full catalog and link your 3D projects with your quality management system. And did you know that for every orthosis you create with our tools, we will also automatically generate a declaration of conformity. There are some other nice features about this platform, but we will keep that for another time. Let's go now and check back on the orthosis we just created.
Hi, my name is Florian, co-founder of Spentys. As you can see, just like on the iPad, all the edges are super smooth, and there are no unnecessary pressure points. This orthosis is up to 10 times lighter than some of its substitutes. It is breathable, biocompatible, and waterproof. We just showed you how to create a 3D printable orthosis in less than 10 minutes, meaning you are able to launch the printer as soon as the patients leave your office, to minimize the turnaround time for the patient. No need to wait for the approval of some external design services. We offer one solution that manages everything from the moment the patient walks in until he walks out with his new orthosis. Today, the free format is available for the upper extremities. By the end of the summer, you will be able to create your first orthosis for the lower extremities as well. We are so happy to be able to offer you this new tool, and we cannot wait to see the design you will create and share with us this summer. We are so excited to share with you this tool. The new Spentys platform, a virtual warehouse for all your 3D printed orthoses and equipment. The new Spentys application, a virtual workstation to create 3D printable orthoses. New modeling tools that allow you to create any orthosis you want in a matter of minutes. And that's why we have decided to make a special summer offer. For only 599 euros, you are able to enjoy the benefits of 3D technology without any limits. That includes printing the orthosis at our production center as well. That's your chance to find out if 3D technologies has an added value for your workshop without extra cost. Now that's an offer that you can refuse. From the entire Spentys team, thank you so much for joining us today, and see you soon.